Hello everyone, today we are going to cover the proofreading exercise 2005. Now, just like how I start the other videos, I would like to ask you to take out a red pen or any pen of any color to write down all the answers I've covered in this video and any explanation notes I've written to explain the answers, okay? Let's get started. This exercise is rather unique because you are given a list of words at the bottom to fill in. Now, if you did not notice this box, you really should read the instructions carefully. This is a fatal mistake to make. You are not asked to make corrections using any words. You have to use these missing words, okay? Now, let's start by going through the two example sentences because they all have values. Okay, we can learn something from it. First one. Okay, I'm one of the first here. I'll go first on this one. Now, this one, I believe up till now we have done quite a lot of proofreading exercises already. This is the first sentence that actually illustrates a kind of grammatical error called sentence run-on sentence. What does it mean? It means there are two independent complete sentences are joined together without conjunction. Okay? This sounds like 火星文 to you, but I'll try to explain in easier words. In order for a sentence to be grammatical, it can only have one subject and one main verb. So here, as you can see, am is a main verb. Will go is another main verb. And they're using comma to connect the two sentences because they can stand alone. Like, I am one of the first here, full stop. This is grammatically correct. I will go first on this one, full stop. This is grammatically correct. However, if you join these two complete sentences together without using a conjunction, 連接詞, then it will be wrong. So that's why the recommended conjunction or connectives to be used is since. Because these two sentences have a cause-result relationship 有因果關係。因為我係最先嘅會員，所以咧我會先發表我嘅意見。Okay? So since. Other words that also mean since. You can say because. You can say for. You can say as. You can even say for. But for here will be ungrammatical. Because for goes to the second clause, the clause after the comma. Okay, if you want more information, ask your English teacher or search for conjunction or connectives. Okay, this is a very, very junior form level grammatical items. I am 20 years old Dutch guy. Again, because guy is a singular noun. So you need an article. Now, he is just a guy. He's not the guy. 佢唔係一個嗰個好特定嘅一個人 okay? So you use the indefinite article, are. We use indefinite article, a, n, to talk about general idea or let's not say general idea. Unspecific thing. I'm a guy. Okay, 我係一個男仔. This is just general. Let's compare this to another example. I'm the guy who stole your book. Okay, so now in this case, you are that specific guy. There's only one. I'm the guy who stole your book. So you use the specific article, the here. Otherwise, you use a. Okay? Let's move on. 61. I have collected comics from when I was 6 years old. So the problem is here 6 years old. I think what he's trying to say is 大約6歲左右啦. Then you need to add the word or. Okay? Also. 6 also. That means 6歲左右啦. Okay? Okay, so you can use it. For example, I have 20 dolls or so. 我大約有20隻公仔啦。Okay, I have 20 dolls also. Okay? You use this after the number. Okay, I recently got married and have a baby boy. Now I'm kind of with buying comics. So now, because you see two preposition here, you know something is wrong. But here in this exercise, you are asked to put the missing words into the article. So you know definitely you need to add something here. What with? First of all, let's consider the meaning. Now I'm kind of with buying comics as my interest. 我已經玩厭啦，我已經唔想再買漫畫啦。So what kind of phrasal verb? The answer is finished. Again, if you are not sure why you use, if you don't know if you don't even know the meaning of finish with, or if you have difficulty recalling any phrasal verb you learned in junior form, please refer to your Developing Skills Grammar book or your LAC vocab book, or just go online and search common phrasal verb. You really need to spend some time to memorize the phrasal verb, just like how you memorize 文言虛詞 in Chinese. It's the truth. Okay, let's move on. As my interest in computer has taken, and it's my main hobby now, and of course now, this meaning is incomplete. Has taken what? Has taken what? Take what? So obviously you need another word here to make it a phrasal verb, and the answer is taken over. Take over means 支配咗啊，佔領咗啊。My interest in computers has taken over. That means 佢已經支配咗我嘅人生啦。我而家就係好中意電腦。Okay, so this phrasal verb is special. Actually, not that special. It's quite common. Alright, next one. Let's move on. 64. I spend some $500 a month on comics. Now, this is not a mistake, but another way to write estimation. Add the word some before the number. About. For example, she has some 50 headbands. Okay, so she has some 50 headbands. That means about 50 headbands. This is correct. This is not wrong. I spend some $500 a month on comics, and when I think about it, 當我諗起佢嘅時候呢 was too much. Here, you're missing the subject. What was too much? It was too much. Okay? Let's move on. 65. When I 17. Now, I 17. So I is the subject. So you're missing the verb here. So the verb is was. 66. I helped a comic book store out. They want to buy American comics. So the meaning in Chinese is 我呢就去一間漫畫店度幫忙，當佢哋想買一啲美國漫畫嘅時候。So you're missing the relative pronoun when. Okay? Now, perhaps it's time to revisit a little bit relative clause or relative pronouns. There are a few. You have which to refer to things or ideas. You have who and whom refer to somebody. You have where refer to a place, but pay attention. This is only used with subject and verb afterwards. Okay, and I think these are the most common ones. Of course, you have like in which, blah blah blah, but you know, let's not cover them here. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you should definitely spend some time to catch up on relative pronouns and relative clauses, because problems with relative clause is the most common ones in DSE writings, okay? And also, relative clause is a very useful sentence structure if you want to connect two simple sentences together. Just like in this case, I helped a comic book store out, full stop. They want to buy American comics, so they use the word when, because it's talking about the same time, right? Oh yeah, of course. Forgot when. Then, using relative clause is a powerful way to connect two simple sentences together. Okay? Let's continue, which they knew almost nothing about. So I had access. Access, that means 連接. Okay? 可以存取，有個捷徑. So I had access, a lot of cool stuff because of that. The answer is I had access to. Okay, the preposition or particle to. Why we use to? Because the word access can be a verb. So when you use access as a verb, you can just say, oh, I can access a lot of cool stuff. But if you say I have access, then it becomes a noun. Then you need to use to. Have access to plus noun. Okay? It's actually quite similar to this. We talked about this in previous exercise. Okay? Notice can be a verb. Take notice of. It becomes a noun. Okay? So now that you have done the previous exercise, perhaps it's a good time to take a look at the explanation notes you've made and see whether you have forgotten some of the points already. Okay? Let's move on. The collecting got out. Oh, okay, told you the answer already. The collection got off hand. You should say got out of hand. Why? Because out of hand is an expression. Means out of control. Right? So you can kind of imagine you use your hands to do a lot of things, right? So if something gets out of hand, that means something gets out of your control because it's not in your hand anymore and you cannot control it. Okay? $69. The amount is far more 20,000. I think he wants to say 多過2萬. So far more than 20,000. Okay? 70. There, some titles are really missed. Okay, missing the verb. There are. Okay, now it's time for me to remind you all the structure again. The there, be structure. Okay, so never, there, have. I've explained this many times, but I feel like I should keep mentioning it until you remember it. Okay. So you can say there are, was, were, okay? Or there have been, or there has been, but never there have, okay? Now, hopefully, after coming across it for 4, 5, 6 times, you remember it by now. Never use there have, okay? Second one, okay, I'll stop now. I always like to hear from others collect. Okay, so this is another relative clause problem. From others, 佢哋 collect 啊，邊一個收集啊？係嗰啲人啊。So who collect? Maybe at this point you're still not quite sure about why we should use relative pronoun. Let me explain. Okay, like is a main verb. Collect is a main verb. That means they are actually two separate sentences. You cannot join them together like that. Then in that case, you have to either number one, you separate these two sentences. You either say, I always like to hear from others. Others collect. Okay? You can either say this, I always like to hear from others, full stop. Others collect comics. But obviously, since we are sharing, the two sentences share the same 人啦，我哋可以咁講啦。And therefore, you can use who. I always like to hear from others. Who comments. So you don't need to repeat others twice. Now, when to use whom? Maybe if you don't know how to use whom, then maybe it's time for me to remind you again. You use whom to refer to the object. Is a person in the second clause. For example, I hate this girl. This the class okay, I hate this girl. My classmates love this girl. So you can see, this girl is the object. 係個賓語 right? So you can say, I hate this girl whom my classmates love. Then 你唔好再重複 this girl 啦 okay? So you can say, I hate this girl whom my classmates love. Alright? Let's continue. I always like to hear from others who collect or have collected comics in past. This one, very simple, missing the definite article, the, okay? In the past, in the present time. Perhaps I should also tell you some common expressions that you use to refer to time. Okay, you say in the past, you say at present. That means now. You say in the future. Okay. If you want to say in the future, you can say in the foreseeable future. 可以預見嘅將來 or in the not too distant future 係一個可以預示到嘅將來，或者一個唔太遙遠嘅將來。But the common thing is you use the, okay? But for present, you say at present. Okay? So, as always, you know, English is very tricky, but once you come across more expressions, you try to memorize them, then your English will improve. It's always the case. Alright. Let's come back to the exercise and see what we've learned today. So, we have learned a new type of grammar items which we have never covered before, run-on sentence. Which is kind of related to relative clause and also, yeah, relative clause here. we learn some new expressions actually. Okay, we learn two ways to express about. We learn also, and we learn some. We learn or we revisited some phrasal verbs such as finish with or taken over. Um, Again, kindly reminder, if you still haven't taken a look at phrasal verbs, if you still haven't tried to memorize phrasal verbs like how you memorize 文言虛詞, then you really should start. Okay? We came across some sentence structure again. It was too much, missing the subject, missing the verb. This is a very basic kind of mistakes. We come across this kind of structure again when a word can be both a verb and a noun. If it becomes a noun, then you need a preposition after the noun. Okay. Got out of hand is an idiom. And then the very obnoxious 臭名遠播嘅 very tricky sentence structure. There be, never there have. Okay, and you learn three expressions that help you express time. Okay, hopefully this video will be useful to you and you've learned some new things in this video. As always, if you have any questions and if you know there are some answers that you think are acceptable, always contact your English teacher. Although I think for this exercise, maybe there are not as many acceptable answers. Actually, there are none actually. But anyway, hopefully this video has helped you, and I will see you next time.